Yeah, hi, it's me. Yeah, I was wondering, the weekend, do you want to play some role-playing games? Yeah, you know, the pen and paper stuff. You can't. Oh yeah, football practice for your kids. Yeah, sorry. I forgot about that. What about next week? Same? All summer? Wow. Okay, well, yeah, it's okay. We can just have your character go on vacation or something. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you want to go on a date? Yeah, sure. Yeah, totally fine, totally fine. We can probably, yeah, we can get along with three. That's no problem. Yeah. Well, we'll see you later then. Just call whenever. Yeah, sure. Ah, you can make it. Cool. Yeah, I was thinking about Friday at starting at 5 or something. Yeah. This time I have one great character. You'll never guess what it is. Yeah, it's an elf ranger. Yeah. And his name is Legolas. What? Oh, you can't make it suddenly. Oh, okay. Well, what about... Hello? Okay, that makes two. You can't play with two. Or can you? Hey.
Hello.
Well, role-playing game for two people. Let's see. Pathfinder the Adventure Card Game. This is designed for being playable alone or with friends, and played without a dungeon master. So, does it work? Let's see. It's a huge box, and inside there's a lot of air. Just be careful not to put it on the vertical, then all the cards will just shuffle all over and it's be a mess. But this is designed to play with one people too many without a dungeon master, as I said. Does it work? Let's find out. Okay, the game doesn't come with a DM, so we have to have a preset story and a preset scenario. And what this game is about is of course cooperative, and you fight alongside each other and trying to beat the monster, the obstacle, get your treasure, or hire the ally, or whatever. And it's kind of random. And these cards will tell you how to get the card and how to beat the monster and so forth. But the important thing is the adventure card. Also, you notice there's a box in here. This comes with the base box, and in this case it's Rise of the Rune Lords. That's the first Pathfinder Adventure Card Game set. And it's room for a lot more expansions, so you have to buy expansions to play more of the game. But how does this play at all? Let's find out. The game is designed to be played with friends, or you can play just a single setting, playing a scenario, it says here, and just follow the steps here and complete it. But what you really want is to play a campaign, a full campaign. So we have this here, Adventure Path. The B says for the base game or core set. So you have to complete these adventures in this order. We start with 1, the Burnt Offerings, which I have here. And this Burnt Offering says, complete the scenarios in this order. Attack on Sandpoints, so we find this card again. And this one says, get these locations, depending on the number of players. So let's say we have 3 players, we find all these locations here. So, once we have the locations, we just add the monster cards. Like here is a list of monster, barrier, weapon, spell, armor, item, ally, and blessing. This list will be always the same, but the numbers will vary from location to locations. Also, the locations have special rules applied to them, and some backstory if you're interested in that. And of course, this is a role-playing game-ish, so you want to read the descriptions to get the most out of it. Okay, let's just add the cards. So we have 5 locations in a circle here. A deck of cards that has a countdown timer. And the location or the scenario description up here. We are missing something though. Yeah, a character. You need a character, of course. And this game tries to simulate that by having a character that is yours. And you gain abilities that you did not have at the beginning of the game, and you become stronger and stronger, just like you should in a role-playing game. So let's find out how that works. So first you choose a character from several characters available. Like this one, Ezran. Oh, he starts with these kind of cards in his deck. So 1 weapon, 8 spells, 0 armor, 3 items, 3 allies, and no blessings at all. Once you found those cards, based from the box, they have stats here. This is basic, so you can choose this one if you want. Well, flip it over, and on this side you see all your stats and your special abilities for this character. So during the game you will gain new cards, and you will add them to your deck. And at the end of the round, you will just make sure you don't exceed this limit here, and just throw away maybe the basic cards and something, and make this deck stronger. Also, you notice there are small squares here that you can mark with a pencil to make it stronger. Well, if you want to save this game for later, I just use a sleeve. Let's see if I'm in the right way. And I can just do this and mark on the sleeve itself. So when I want to start over later or try something else, just take a new sleeve and a new character, and don't ruin the card. Then later you just make sure you don't exceed this limit here, and just store it together in the box. Very easy for next game. This is my character. I place him here at the Rusty Dragon, and to explore here I just flip the top card of the location deck. An ally. He has an encounter limit here, or encounter challenge here, encounter check. I have to beat this in order to acquire him. I can fail just by banishing him, since this is not a monster. So let's see, I need to have a 10. On my character sheet it says I have a charisma, which is like here, it says charisma or diplomacy. I have a 6d6 for charisma, and well, I can't get a 10 on d6 obviously, so maybe I can play some cards on my hand. If these cards have the charisma or diplomacy or ally names on them, I can use them. In this case I don't, so this card is lost forever. It goes back in the box. So that's it actually. You flip a card, as in Munchkin, and do whatever it says on there. Okay, I said Munchkin, and this is Munchkin as it should be maybe. In Munchkin you flip a card and you just fight the monster or get the trap or whatever. In this one, you flip the card and fight the monster or get the trap or whatever. Only here you have cards that can help you mitigate those odds, and your allies aren't out to stop you. So this is a game that actually end. So let's say you're doing amazingly well and the other people on your team are not. So at the end of the game you have a lot of great treasure on your hand. No problem, because you can, at the end of the game, share your treasure with all the other players for the next game. And this way you can share the wealth, and you all become stronger based on one person's brilliance and the next person's fail. But it sounds fairly easy. The problem of the game is the time. You have a time limit here. Normally, in most scenarios, you have to find a villain and beat him. And in order to do that, you have to go through all the locations, empty the decks, and then fight the villain at the end, most of the time. Sometimes you just need to find allies or something. But if you don't do this by the end of this timer deck, you all fail. And that's the problem of the game. Well, not the problem of the game, but that's the struggle of the game. You have to beat the time and succeed at most checks and something. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can fail on purpose just to continue the pace or whatever. And you can make choices. You can make interesting choices. And I like this game. It's very random, and it's Munchkin as it should be. So I found Munchkin very fun at the beginning, and then it lost interest when you found out that it was just random, and when you reached level 9 you lost because everyone was saving their sabotage cards and whatever. And this game is a cooperative game, so it's a win-win in that regard. Okay then, Pathfinder, the adventure card game. As I said in the beginning of the video, I was trying to get a role-playing group together, you know. This one, is it trying to be a role-playing game? Well, sort of. It has locations, it has characters with information you can say for the next scenario, and you have a campaign with your friends. And yeah, it's not a role-playing game. No. Okay, in a role-playing game, when I play that, you have a Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master has concocted up a great story for you to live through, and he will enact the characters of the story, like the strong man, you know, bumping his fist with you for no reason, or you have to be quiet because there's a small afraid creature. Okay, you can act, you have fun with the expressions and the story and everything. And you don't have it here. No way. There, you flip a card, you do what it says, and occasionally you can read the flavor text on the card just to find out what it is about. There's no role playing here. Okay, you have the characters with the stats you can save for later. That's it. If you want a role playing game, this is not the way to go. Still, I do enjoy this game. It is fun. It is flip a card and random stuff happens, yeah, but you have fun doing that. And the game is easy to explain to beginners. We just look at the card. Okay, see a stat. Do you have a card with the stat name on it? You do? Okay, use it then, and you can win. Roll a dice and see what happens. And okay, I did have a struggle with the rules in the beginning because I had never played this before, and the rules were kind of straightforward once you read it, but when you need to look up something later, I was kind of struggling with how to actually beat those cards and how to use the abilities. But once I get through it, it's very easy to explain. So this is not a role-playing game, as I said, but it is a fun game. I do enjoy it. And there is one problem that I've checked out on the forums for this game: the expansions. This game is set up for expansions, as shown in the intro. You had a lot of space for expansion boxes. Let's say you have an expansion that requires a wisdom to beat it, and you have no characters with wisdom on it because you played, I don't know, 3 adventures with those characters, and you have a lot of fun, and suddenly you meet a wall. You have to have wisdom to beat this adventure. And then again, in a role-playing game, the Dungeon Master, he would compensate for this, and he will make a way to make you defeat this challenge. In this game, you cannot. It's impossible. You just wasted a lot of characters. You can't progress any further, and it's a huge weakness to the game that you cannot beat a challenge. That is not a role-playing game as it should be. It should be designed to be a challenge, not impossible. In that way, I cannot say it's a good game. It's not a good design choice, maybe, but I do enjoy playing it, and I have ordered more expansion packs because I want to play more. I think it's enjoyable, and it's fun to play with your friends, especially if you have your same friends over and over again. And that way we have one problem maybe, because in today you have a problem with the role-playing game is that people's schedules aren't synced up anymore. And in this game you kind of want to play with the same friends over and over again because it's an adventure. And you progress your characters based on the adventure, and you don't want to start over again each time. So if you have a problem with time that you can't schedule together, this might not be good in that way. Though you can play a single scenario, it's not rewarding because in this game, when you play and complete a scenario, you can cross off here and get more stats or more cards in the box. So I'm kind of struggling here, but it's a fun game. That's the most important thing. It's a fun game. I want to play more, and you can play it solo, and it works very well. So if you have that's one way to look at it. If you don't have time with your regular role-playing group, you can play it alone, and still then you can kind of get the feeling of adventure because there's no people to interact with and make the story blossom in front of you. Just do what it says on the cards and try to be the best at it, and you get rewards and you have fun. So it's a good solo game. It's a good multiplayer game if you play with the same people, your friends. But okay, it's a recommendation. It totally is, but it's no substitute for a role-playing game at all. But okay, this is the Rise of the Rune Lords. It's a base set, only base set with no expansions on it, and I enjoyed it a lot. So thank you for watching. I hope you've got a feeling for what the game is and what it can help you achieve or experience. Thanks for watching. Hope I see you again in the next episode. See ya.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool Stuff, in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.